Community Beacon, Fridays at 6:30 EST, with your hosts Michaeldseville and Joel Simmons. A channel whose focus is liberty, a place where the lessons discussed and taught will create openings to a more open and freer mindset. A mindset where you may reach the height of your potential and excel. Here are your hosts, Mike and Joel.
What is going on? What is going on, people? It is Friday, 6:30. We are in the place to be, and if you're here, you're in the place to be. Thanks for checking in with us, guys, over here at Community Beacon. We appreciate you each and every time you check out. We're going to have a good time tonight. This is the last Friday of the month. I don't know if you can believe it. It's crazy. I got the co-host with me. Well, first of all, I'm Mike Seville, your real estate guy, your real estate mogul, your real estate champion. I'm here for you. And of course, I got the co-host with the most, Joel, over there at the Tenacity Foundation. Last week you were somewhere else. This week you done what was it? Transported back to 1950s, 1960s sci-fi film. What's going on, brother?
Listen, I ain't got nothing to say for you.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what.
I'd just like to say to all of the people out there, I love y'all. Mike, right now, he on a whole nother level or something right now, y'all.
Right.
What are you doing? You're crying over there because you're laughing at me. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you what. I got enough love for the both of us, brother. It's good to have the brother. It's good to have the brother on and with us once again. The brother does the most, man. Last week you were somewhere else. This week you're back doing what you do. The grind is real. The grind is serious, and every week we move forward and we push forward and we get to what we got to do, because essentially that's what it takes, guys. Speaking of that's what it takes, Mondays, 9 o'clock. I go in and I show you. I'm telling you, if you check in, you're going to get something. This is great information on what it takes, what exactly it's going to take. I had a conversation with a young man today, and one of his goals is to do 60 real estate deals in a year. And one of the things that he spoke and he said to me was he met with a coach yesterday, and the coach kind of laughed at him. And because he said, how many deals did you do the year before? And he said, well, I only did 2 or 3, but this year I want to do 60. Now, here's a very ambitious guy. He puts in the work. I've seen the growth over the last 2 months. And I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you can't do 60 deals in a year after you had done 2. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do it. But what you need to know is you need to know exactly what it's going to take to do it. Because you have to increase your activities. You have to increase your time. Like this. There's a reason why a lot of people don't that people who do over 60 deals, that's the top 1% in real estate. A lot of people aren't willing to put forth that effort. So you want to see what it looks like. So guys, what it takes every Monday night at 9:30. Of course, on Wednesdays at 12:30, we have It Starts With Me, where the brother Joel goes and interviews different entrepreneurs, different people from all walks of life in different industries, etc., community people as well. Brother, who do you have this Wednesday at 12:30?
All right, come on back in for the second episode with Jeremy Torres. Second episode with Jeremy Torres. So it's going to be nice. This guy is a real deal. I'm telling you, Mike, this guy puts in I think he sleeps 3 hours a day. That's it. 3 hours. He's putting in work. He's putting in work. So come and hear about it.
I love it. I love it. And that just goes exactly in line with what I'm explaining to people. Like, this takes work. This takes time. This takes effort while you're accumulating skills, while you're putting in. Here's a guy and you spoke about him last week. This guy had a $50-60 million business at one point, bringing in revenues of $50-60 million. And it just doesn't happen overnight, because if that was the case, everyone will do it. So it's interesting that you talk about those 3 hours, and I'm glad, because this is some of the stuff we're going to be getting into next month when we talk about it. But let's finish. Yeah, let's finish up this month, and then before we end this episode, it's gonna be a real short episode, but we're gonna talk about everything that happened and culminated up to this month as we went over, 6:30 to Community Beacon. We went over the coming of age. We started off this month with coming of age. We had our actual first guest. For those of you who didn't check us out last week, we had Coach Liv come in and discuss a couple of things in regards to coming of age. We got deep. We got not so politically correct. We spoke some truth.
Yeah, that was a
And
good episode, man.
yeah,
I went back and watched the entire episode. I mean, minute by minute. That was deep. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. There's a
we
lot of
spoke some.
differences. There's a
Yeah,
lot of differences. Even though we stayed the course and there's a lot of agreement. When I went back and listened to it, I said, boy, man, there was a couple of times when that was good. That was good. A lot of perspective.
a lot of different perspectives. It's always good to have someone come on the show. Here's the thing, that regardless of what it is, and the brother spoke to me, and I'll never forget this conversation that we had. He said that as long as we're all in search of the truth, if you're in search of the truth, regardless of whether we're not aligned on certain nuances, certain misalignments, if that's even the case, because I don't know. Maybe we had our differences just because from the way we said it, communication, the perspectives. But I think if we continue on these different paths and we're still in search of the truth, right? We're all going to end up in the same place anyways, because there's only one truth. So you got to keep on and keep searching for it. So excellent episode. First guest, she brought the fire last week Friday. Go check out Coach Liv, and go check out that episode, and you'll see her information on it. Let's get into it, guys. Like I said, very short show today. We're moving, but we still wanted to make it happen. Brother, what were some of your biggest thoughts over, the last month, the coming of age? Some of the things we spoke about were the physical versus mental freedom. We spoke about our Emancipation Proclamation. We was ready, 18 years of age or bust. That 18 years of age of where, hey, listen, I don't know, we got to go, but there's some rules that we're not willing to abide by. It's time for us to make our mark in the world. It's time for us to get out and see what's going on out there in these deep waters. Then, of course, last week we spoke about our rites of passage, so many different things. Like I said, due to shortness of time, I don't know where you want to start. I kind of know where I want to start. If you let me know if you want me to go.
Well, I mean, I'll start with this.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the recap, I don't want to like dive into every little thing. What else is this? The price. You got to pay the price. Emancipation Proclamation. You got to pay the price. 18 years of age or bust. You got to pay the price. For these paradigm shifts, it comes with a price tag. And that's what I'm feeling right now is we've got to be able to level up. But all of that comes with a price tag. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you sacrifice. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you something. You're going to have to give up something in order to be able to get through these different challenges. You challenge yourself. Come with a price.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It comes with a price. Here was something that really struck me out this month. Of course, it came from last week's episode with Coach Liv, and we were talking about people who are already paying the price. Because you just to speak on your words, you're paying a price for inaction, right? You're not only paying a price for moving forward. 18. Say you didn't want to do anything. Say you wanted to stay with moms or pops or dad or grandma or whoever it is that you're living with. Say you wanted to sit down and be coddled, so to speak. Say you just decided that this is what I want to stay within the confines of comfort, right? You're paying a price. You're paying a price there. So one of the things that came from it yesterday, we were talking about people who don't necessarily want to move, because a lot of people believe that staying still is it means that you're safe, right? But honestly, when you're staying still, you're still making a decision. That's number one. You're making the decision to stay still. And one of the things that Liv brought up, I'll bring it back again, was being intentional about staying still, because you're being intentional about being in the same place. And here's what I know about life is that there's two things happening. Either you're growing or you're dying. So you deciding to stay still, you being frozen by more than likely fear. Because one thing about it is when you come out on the other side, you're gonna be better off than staying where you are. However, in order to come out to the other side, you got to go through some things. You got to go through these different challenges. You know, we spoke about the year, turning 18, years, 18 years or bust is kind of some of the things that we spoke about. And what I've learned throughout life is that the age is really, as I remember Leah spoke about it, age is really nothing but a number, right? I don't know if you all remember that album, like age is nothing but a number, because you can become 18 and then you can turn and you can stand still, stay in, be in the in comfort and still doing the same things, and you'll be 28 and still have the life experience of an 18-year-old because you decided not to go. But you're still, just because you're 28 don't necessarily makes you, it doesn't, you've never been free. You've never been free. You stayed in the place of comfort, and that place of comfort is stagnation. And if you know anything about stagnation, the stagnation brings about disease, stagnation brings about illnesses, stagnation brings about death. Stagnation, like one of the worst things that can happen to you when you're in the hospital is just to lay there. You just sit there in the hospital. That's the reason why they get you to move, and they get you to move around, because your body is meant to move. You know what? You know one of the craziest things about homes, brother, if you don't realize it, homes are meant to be lived in, because the moment a home starts to become stagnant, I mean, you can go away from a home for a year. If nobody's in there letting fresh air in, letting the stale air out, not doing anything, that same home that could last 30, 40, 50 years just by people living in it, that same home becomes dilapidated. You start to rust. All these things that happen just by the action of living in it, it becomes the home becomes in ruins. So one thing about it is, guys, is that just just to play on what the brother said, or just to continue with that, is that we do have to pay the price. But guess what? The price you pay is much less than the price you pay for allowing this thing to continue moving without you. So that was my thoughts on this year. You're paying the price. So you might as well, and you're going through the pain and the suffering, because guess what? Life is happening regardless. Life is gonna happen. People are going to die. You are going to lose. You're going to get hurt. But if you're staying in the same, you're paying the price. So why not move forward with it? I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but I'm passionate about people moving forward, right? I'm passionate about people moving forward. Go ahead, brother. I know.
I love it. I love it. And that's really what it all comes down to. It's like there's a price to be paid. There always will be a price to be paid, But going into further detail, like, here's the deal. If success is your aspiration, right? If that's what you want, risk is inevitable. Period. If you desire to meet the girl, there's going to be some risk. She may say no. You see the girl over there, you're like, man, I want to marry that one. She may say no. If she says no, at least you do know. But if she says yes, what would have happened if you had never taken the risk? You want that job, you got to go apply for it. That's just the way it works. If you want change inside your life, you have to do something about it. Risk is inevitable. Taking risks may make us uncomfortable, right? It may make us uncomfortable because there's absolutely no guarantee that whatever we're risking is going to benefit us. There's no guarantees. This is the price you pay in order to get where you need to be. However, if you decide that you'd rather just be comfortable, you got an absolute guarantee that you will go nowhere. That you will remain exactly the same. If you're laying on the couch right now, you won't get up. That's it. You will still be there tomorrow. You'll be there the day after. You'll be there next week. Because you are taking absolutely no risk. Risk does not provide you with guarantees of what you are exactly looking for. But here is a guarantee that if you take the risk to be something, to be that greater version of yourself, to reach out, I guarantee that if you consistently reach out to be the greater version of yourself, you will meet new people. You will go to new places. You will experience new things. You will surround yourself by new things. And new opportunities will arrive at your doorstep. And it may not be today, but I guarantee if you keep up with that, stay consistent, it will happen. Yeah, you got to pay the price. And just like you said, Mike, either which way, you are paying a price. You're paying a price to be comfortable. And I don't know if that comfortability is enough. I'm not even worried about that anymore. I would much rather run towards my pressure points than I would to stay in my comfort zone and never be able to become the individual that I desire to become.
Amen.
Let me tell you something, Mike. Let me tell you this, man. This was crazy. This was crazy. And there's somebody out there, there's a Jay-Z out there, or a Kevin Hart, or a Rock, there's, Dwayne Johnson. There's one of them guys out there that would just kind of like chuckle at what I'm about to say. But it had some impact on me, and it had an impact on my family. I was sitting up in there in the city furniture because we had to return. I shouldn't even say it that way. I was sitting somewhere because we were returning something. And while I was in this location, somebody walked up to me. And they said, "Hey, man, how you doing? Joe, what's going on, man?" And I'm like, "How you doing?" He said, "Man, you're on my For You page." TikTok, FYP, For You page. That means top of the list. It means I'm showing up. And I am in their select category of showing up every single day. And this individual thought it not robbery to come to me and say hi, because he just wanted to interact with me. And it was powerful to me. If you're out there, you're watching this, man, I definitely appreciate you, because you don't know how much that impacted me. Because what I do it because I want to help other people. I'm not looking for glory or fame or none of that stuff. I just started doing this because it was in my heart, and I took a risk, a big risk, a large risk. Y'all rewind some of these things and go back. You can find out, because I may have even mentioned how much of a risk I put on the line and how much I'm still taking to make sure that this thing is impactful and that it is sustainable. But to hear that come from somebody who was not my brother, friend, or someone who was a family member, it had an impact on me. My kids were with me. My wife was with me. And this individual broke into our conversation just to mention that. Listen, it's not about fame. It's not about fortune. But impact is impact. And that is a lesson all in it by itself.
Here we got a superstar with us, guys. We got the super. I'm introducing him as a superstar, Joel at the Tenacity Foundation. What a blessing, guys! And man, that's huge. That's huge to have someone, and to have someone come in and pick you out and to be able to share the platform and in a positive way. I think that's the that's the most important thing is that to have that impact in a positive way. Guys, I promise you that this wasn't going to be a long episode. This coming of age month was excellent. Go back and check out a lot of our we had about 4 other episodes, great episodes. Once again, we brought Coach Liv on, our first guest. That was the last week's episode. I guess that was the 21st or the 22nd. Go check that one out. And then here we go. We're in August. I mean, before, you're gonna blink and it's gonna be the end of the year, guys. We're gonna blink and it's gonna be the end of the year. That's how fast this time is going, and we're enjoying it, and we're enjoying the process of having this happen. Next month, we're gonna be talking about time. We're going to be talking about time. We're going to be talking about the investment of time. A lot of the stuff that we spoke about in this show, Coming of Age, we're going to be talking about how to make your time the most useful. If you guys check each and all of the episodes, all of our programs, go check the TikToks, go check what we're talking about in stories, etc., Instagram, whatever, you are seeing a roadmap. And I'm hoping you guys are peeping this roadmap of starting from where we are and getting and having intentionality about it. And don't get us wrong, going over speed bumps, hitting walls, having thoughts about it, going through different types of emotions about it. But at the end of the day, continuously moving forward. That is what we're talking about, man. That is what we're doing here. So once again, we appreciate you guys. Next month, we'll be talking about time and all things relative to time in regards to investment versus spending. We got a slew of things that we're going to go get into next month. August, it's going to be a good time. Who knows where the brother's going to be? It's going to be like, where is Joel next week, or where's Joe? Where's Joe the week after that? But man, I appreciate you guys for checking in this entire month, man, and that's all I got to say on the subject. What about you, brother? Any last words?
Brother, I'm good, man. Just can't wait to see this thing on next month. I love this subject of time. Just absolutely love it. It transcends. So I'm looking forward to it. Listen, y'all, we're about to cut it short, as the brother said from the very beginning. All right, we'll cut it short. We just like to say it's that time to close it on out. We definitely enjoy all of you all joining in on our conversations and being a part of the Community Beacon. Here at the Community Beacon, everything that we talk about and the lessons that we have learned, it's all about helping individuals like yourself, like us, gain more freer mindsets so that we can reach our highest potential and from there excel. So we just hope that you continue to enjoy it. Join us next week, next month, as we go into the new subject of time and how we want to use that. We'll be breaking that out on our next week's session so that you can get a feel for what to expect in the new month. Lots of ideas. If you come up with something, though, DM us or drop it inside the chat. Put it on Michaeldseville YouTube or Tenacity Foundation YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Put it there and say, hey, listen, guys, I would like for you all to talk about XYZ, because we love to talk about different things that you all like to hear. All right? Because we enjoy these conversations. Yeah, so anyway, what we would like for you to do is remember, like, subscribe, love, follow, hit the notification button, ding, so you know whenever we are live, and you can come on. So we begin. That's the real estate and the business model. And I am your motivator, Joel Simmons. I love you.